Hey, hi, welcome back to our Production Hub Band Pro special. We're here with Jason from Imagecraft. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your company and some of the things you do here? I noticed that seemed like you were expanding when we came over earlier today.
Yeah, we're always kind of expanding, buying new equipment like this lens. We do rentals, audio rentals, lens rentals, camera rentals, grip and electric rentals, just pretty much whatever the client needs, we generally have in-house. So we're just here at Band Pro today looking at more equipment, and we picked up the first set of the IBE macro lenses, the first set in the United States.
That must be an exciting acquisition for you. Where do you see this fitting in with your current inventory going forward?
Well, this is a cinema lens, so this fits with our cinema cameras. The one great thing about this lens is it covers a lot of territory. You can use it as a macro lens, so you can shoot finite details on products, do some beautiful product shots with it. You can also, in my experience, when I've played with it, you can also sit down and do interviews for reality shows with it. So it kind of covers the whole gamut of prime lenses, and it seems that it's going to be a really good fit for us in our market.
I noticed that the first issue of these lenses came in three very specific sizes. Was there a particular reason that you know for that, or is that just really seem to be what people ask for?
I think for the macro side of things, 100, 150, and 180 is kind of what guys generally ask for when they want to rent macro lenses or own macro lenses, because you need that real tight detail of like food product or any other kind of product that you're shooting for commercial work.
Well, I mean, from what I've read about the lens, I haven't had an opportunity to look at it. It really is designed with the Red 8K in mind, a bigger, wider exposure, not exposure, but a big wider picture. Is that something that you could build a package for a particular client for, or maybe you kind of say, hey, you're shooting this is where I recommend you go with, or do they already have it in their head, hey, I know what I want to rent, thanks anyways?
It's always kind of a hand-in-hand relationship with clients. Generally, the clients that we have kind of have a general idea of what they want. They know what cameras they want, they know what lenses they want, they know what audio, lighting, all that kind of stuff they want. But they're always asking, is there something else that you offer that might help us do such and such? So this is kind of one of those things where, yeah, we have these, let's do a lens test, let's see if you like this or not. Because it might work for use as a macro lens, or it might work as a kind of a sit-down interview lens for any kind of reality show or any other type of show where you literally just need a nice tight lens that has a beautiful depth of field.
Has the rental business changed, or has it pretty much stayed the same?
Oh no, it's changing. It changes every day, just about. The one thing that we're always looking for is kind of trying to get the most bang for the buck when we buy equipment that we put into rentals. So cameras are changing dramatically all the time. I mean, Sony has a new camera, Canon has a new camera, Sony has another new camera. It kind of goes back and forth. You got Panasonic with their Vericams, Arri with all their cameras. So everybody's got a camera. Everybody's, there's a lot of lenses that are being made out there. There's not as much competition in the lens market as there is in the camera market. So I think more often now guys are looking at the glass more than they are looking at the camera. Because cameras are kind of cameras, but it really has to do with what's the image going through before it hits the sensor. With this lens, what we're really stoked about is the fact that it's kind of future-proofing us. This covers all the new big sensors that are out there. It does cover the red. It also covers the Arri 65. And then I know that there's a couple other cameras that have the large sensors that this will cover. As far as I know from our testing and the conversations that we've had, this will cover just about every sensor that's out there right now. I'm sure there's a few that obviously it won't, but our market and hopefully the market that we kind of move into, this lens will take care of it for us.
So let me kind of put you in a tough spot. How do you guide a potential new client that comes in and asks for two things that are really not compatible? How do you kind of guide them into something package that'll work for them? Do you just say, nah, that won't work, or hey, do I look at this, or do I look at this instead?
Well, the client's paying the bills, right? So I never want I never want to tell a client no, that's you shouldn't do that. But I'll offer my suggestion, or my folks in my office will offer the suggestion. But in the end, it's their choice. And sometimes we come from the technical side of things, right? So they're coming from the creative side of things. They might have a whole different understanding, whole different outlook on how they want to create. Our job is just to support that creation. So if they say, no, that doesn't work for me, okay, then here, this is what we have, or let's get you something else that will work for you, that kind of thing. So our job is just to support the creative always, and help them understand, what the kind of the boundaries are, technically speaking, of what they can and can't do with the equipment they're asking for. And whether do we need to change the equipment, a package, or offer a different lens, offer a different camera, we'll always do that. But in the end, it's kind of like it's their vision, and we're just there to help them out.
Unfortunately, we're about out of time, but is there anything else we would need to know about this lens before we call it a day?
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. I played with it quite a bit, but I'm looking forward to playing with it more myself, and also getting it in the hands of some other DPs and seeing what they say. So there's a lot of things to look forward, coming up.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck with the lens and your business.
Great, thank you.